It's turned into a pretty nice day here in Chattanooga at Jim Frost Stadium as our Southern Conference Softball Championship presented by Visit Chattanooga continues. Yesterday was a complete washout, but today we're underway as we take a look at our Visit Chattanooga bracket. You can see the home team Mocs have advanced out of the single elimination and into the double elimination portion of the bracket. And now we get Mercer and ETSU in another elimination game. A pleasant good afternoon alongside Todd Agnew, Dave Friedman along with you. These teams originally thought they were going to play yesterday on this field, and then it got shuffled, and they thought they were going to play right across the way. Now they're back on the top field.
Yeah, and they're excited about that. They're happy about that. They didn't get a chance to practice yesterday on the alternate field, so it would have been their first experience. It's a little bit different turf over there. This will offer at least the winner of this game some more consistency and an opportunity on this field.
While it's a new coaching staff for Mercer, this is the defending champs.
Yeah, I mean, Mercer is in a position to surprise some people. I think this is a game that really, like the last game, it could come down to a big inning, the way Chattanooga used their big inning. And this is a team that's going to have to prove themselves.
Who will punch their ticket to the double elimination portion of the bracket and whose season will conclude? Lineups and the opening pitch coming up next from Chattanooga. Well, it rained virtually all day yesterday, and it's cloudy and overcast today, but at least the rain is gone. 62 degrees, 10-mile-per-hour winds at Frost Stadium in Chattanooga. And ETSU and Mercer about to get introduced to the crowd here. Look at the Mercer starting lineup, and again, these are the defending conference champions, and just like last year, they have to go through the elimination game to get the tournament underway. And when you look at this group of Mercer Bears, you're looking at a team that is the 7 seed, but they're capable.
Yeah, I mean, this is a lineup that's got some pop in their bat right in the middle of the order. And, of course, you know, it's really hard to replace experience, and this team has experience. It's difficult sometimes to say how much of an advantage it is, and it's a big advantage. Momentum, all of that is going to matter today and throughout the course of this tournament.
ETSU and Mercer each finished with 8 and 13 league records this year. But you have a Mercer team that ran the gauntlet last year and an ETSU program that is trying to build something under Cheryl Milligan.
Yeah, I'm not sure Coach Milligan has them right where she wants them. Probably would like to run a little bit more, be a little bit better in situational ball. But I have watched them throughout the year. This is a team, you think about peaking, teams that are playing better or playing worse. I really feel like this is a team that is playing and starting to play better, and they're linking some of their stuff together. When they get on base, they act like they know what they're doing.
Well, they've won 4 out of their last 6, and you want to close the year well. And Cheryl Milligan said she's excited because the pieces have come into place. There was a point in the year where she wasn't sure who her best pitchers were. She wasn't sure what her best lineup was. But over the last month or so, she's become pretty comfortable with the group she's playing.
Yeah, and I just noticed that is later in the season that they just seem to be, again, I'll say more linked together, right? And more of a flow about them, a better understanding of what they are. And that's a lot of credit to the head coach to get the team to understand what it is she wants them to do. And to say it again, to be situationally aware is so important in these games.
And you can see the SoCon champions over the years that have been dominated by Chattanooga and UNCG until Mercer and Coach Lindsay Fico pulled kind of the incredible last year. Mercer in the conference tournament, 21-19 all time. But oh, by the way, they went 7-1 a year ago.
I think you have to treat some of these tournament games like a 3-game series. We're just going to play a 3-game. We're going to win. We're going to sweep a 3-game series. Forget the fact that it changes opponents. We're going to play our ball. This is what we do. This is the defense that we've established, and we're not going to get really crazy and try to get out of frame here. And that can lead you to a championship when you take it, as they like to say, 1 game at a time. They are a team, I believe, that can, as I said earlier, Mercer just feels like a club that can slug their way to some success here and have those big innings.
Eden Muncie gets the ball for Cheryl Milligan. Muncie up spin. Rise, curve, screw, and change. 5th in the league in ERA. 3rd in the league in fewest hits allowed. 3rd in the league in whip, but it's that up that is the difference.
Yeah, if she can get her movement pitches today to spot, especially that up pitch, that is obviously one of the tougher ones to swing at, that and the drop pitch, because you think it's in the strike zone and you start to help the pitcher out if you're swinging out of that strike zone. So figuring out what's going to be a strike and what's going to be a ball, but those risers are so hard to lay off for batters, and usually they're by you, and it's too late.
Our starting lineups were presented by Visit Chattanooga. Eden Muncie out on the circle. These teams just played 3 times over the weekend. ETSU took the first game 8-1, the second game 7-3, and Mercer took the Sunday contest 6-1. Muncie 4-6, a 2.65 ERA. Muncie faced this Mercer team Saturday, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. She's really made a dramatic improvement from a season ago.
And Dave Sanchez here. This is a spot in the order where she has been successful.
Muncie last year was 2-9 with an ERA of 6.83, though actually pitched pretty well against Mercer in 2 appearances.
This opening inning is always about feeling out for a pitcher, the strike zone. What do you have that's working? Usually pitching coaches will ask them to try to spot their fastball and off speed, so their speed pitches first, and then try to start working on their movement pitches. There's that riser you talked about. And you can get players almost predictably, they haven't seen a lot of it, to pop that ball up in the air.
When I talked to Cheryl Milligan about Muncie, she described her as a little person who throws very hard.
Well, that'll work, right?
5'4" sophomore from Duffield, Virginia, about 45 miles north of Johnson City. She's a dental hygiene major. A prolonged first at bat of the game.
Always feel like as a leadoff hitter, you want to try to get to these spots so you can see all of the pitches and get more familiar with what they are going to throw. And just couldn't catch up on that one. I thought Muncie did a really good job, despite the fact that Sanchez was battling her, of changing up the pitches. Looks like to me she's confident right now with everything she has thrown.
When she throws that up ball, she gets swings and misses, and when she's on it, it really jumps. She came to an ETSU camp, and she just struck out everyone. That rise ball, really strong in high school, but it's different adapting it to the college level, and that's taken a little bit of time. But when she controls the rise, very, very dangerous.
You know, one of the things you want to try to do as a pitcher is you want to get batters to change their eyesight, right? Am I going up, going down, or leaning in or backing out of the plate? And so you're trying to change how comfortable they are. And anytime you can get their eyes going up and down, you feel like you've got an advantage.
See the defense behind Muncie.
Pretty solid this year. This time of the year, you want to know that you are good up the middle. Your catcher, short, second, and third base. And this team has not made a lot of mistakes at those positions.
Loughran at the plate is a key hitter, in large part because of the injury to Daniela Monaco. Monaco injured at the start of April, a broken finger, and she was playing a really big role in the offense. And now Loughran has inherited that spot.
And they have bumped her up in this order recently. She was hitting in the lower half of the order. Which almost always guarantees you at least one extra plate appearance, and that'll make your coach happy. The more plate appearances that top of the order can get, you feel like if your top of the order is getting 4 or 5 plate appearances, that probably means you've got 5 to 6 runs a game.
Out to right, but right there is Coleman Tillman. Chris Kohlmeyer is the first-year head coach of Mercer, and he said that He thought the team had shown pretty strong resilience this year. They had bounced back after a little bit of a tough start. They've found a way to bounce back after tough games, and he thought that they finished the year well.
Yeah, I had an opportunity to spend some time with him on the phone the other day and then see him again in person. And I have to say, he's feeling very optimistic about where his club is right now. They've made some strides in some areas that he had some questions about. Told me that, injuries had forced him to make some changes to his roster.
Grace Jones at the plate, a member of the all-freshman team a year ago and a first-team all-conference performer this year.
And not only was he happy with how people have made those changes, those forced roster changes, but he feels like those players have settled in and done a nice job.
He really thought before the Monaco injury, his top 5 in the order were as good as anybody in the league.
One thing he was not looking forward to, as of yesterday morning, was the 9 a.m. start. He said, we did have a 9 a.m. start one time this year against Southern Illinois in another tournament.
Out to left for Whitney Boone. A 1-2-3 inning for Eden Muncie. Mercer fails to score, and the Buccaneers coming up next.
Remember how summer felt? Pure, unfiltered joy. Days filled with sun-soaked adventures. And the kind of fun you never wanted to end. That feeling? It's waiting for you in Chattanooga. From breathtaking mountain views to secret waterfalls and hidden wonders, adventure here feels like a childhood discovery. Savor the flavors of summer and make new friends. Give yourself permission to be carefree again. This is Chat Summer.
It's the moment you dream of, the moment you work for, train for, run wind sprints when nobody's watching for, the moment when hours of gym time, court time, prep time, all culminate into this time, the moment when millions of bounces, blocks, and boards all add up to this, your moment. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
Take a look at our ETSU starting lineup presented by Visit Chattanooga. And this is the group that will face Katie Rearley, a member of Mercer's championship team from a year ago. When you look at ETSU offensively, and we understand that there have been some struggles this year, what is the portion of that lineup that Mercer has to navigate?
I really feel like getting around Taylor and Moore, which are the hitters number 2 and 3 in this order, is really where most of the danger sits.
Katie Rearley, curveball, screw, off speed, kind of steady Eddie in the circle for the Bears. Great spin, able to hit all quads. That off speed, when it's going good, is an awfully tough pitch to hit. People often kind of get out in front on her. She gets hit hard when the ball's in the middle of the plate. She needs to use the corners.
So 2 different pitching matchups today. One pitcher, the starter for East Tennessee State, wants you to move your eyes up and down. And this pitcher for Mercer is going to try to get you to move out and in, right? And so Look, there's arguments for both. I always felt like if I could get a batter leaning in a direction with their hips in their hands, I'd have more of an advantage against them than as opposed to up or down in the strike zone.
Rarely appeared twice in the series against ETSU over the weekend. On Saturday, 2 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned. On Sunday, 7 innings, 9 hits, and only a single run. And she only struck out 2 batters in those games combined.
Yeah, it's, you know what? If you can rely on your defense to do some work for you, why not?
Like that?
Yep.
Porter lines out to Sanchez for the first out of the last of the first inning. Rarely last year was quite good. 7-2 with a 3.52 ERA. You see the defense behind Katie Rearley that she will use liberally, but her numbers this year are much worse in terms of the ERA and the runs scored. What's funny, though, is the opponent batting average is almost identical year in and year out.
I really feel like her big weapon defensively is her battery mate. Lenson is just such an impressive catcher and has the ability to move out from behind that plate and play a different position if necessary.
Rarely pitched in Game 1 Sunday, Championship Sunday of the tournament last year, and got roughed up, but Mercer rallied to win. And she pitched quite well in the Friday game in the tournament against UNCG last year. She didn't face ETSU all of last season. 5'7" senior from Townsend, Georgia, public policy and law major. Grew up about 50 miles south of Savannah.
See how close this infield is playing, or outfield. Taylor, the left fielder, is barely a left fielder. The center fielder is, kind of halfway. And the right fielder is sneaking all the way down as well. And they are pulled up tight on the corners. And this is what Taylor does. She tries to put a lot of pressure on your defense. And that's what East Tennessee State typically does as a team. They will put the ball in play, as you see the head coach there. What I think that they've struggled with the most is just finishing off some of those opportunities with runs. Well, the one you don't want to get dinged up is that one right there. I really believe that she is the core in a lot of different ways for this team. Spoke with the head coach from Mercer the other day, and he said he was a little undecided about who was going to be in the circle. I think he knew. He just wasn't really ready to say it out loud.
He's got several women who have pitched in big games, and those are good choices to make, but not necessarily easy choices to make. Chris Kohlmeyer in his first year, graduated from LSU in 1999. He was the head coach at UMBC, Maryland-Baltimore County, won 3 regular season titles and 4 tournament titles. His fiancée, Beth, is also a Division I softball coach, and in fact, they share the same agent, and they both interviewed for the job at Boston College this last offseason that Beth got. So they're engaged, but they live 900 miles away. Beth was the coach at St. Francis who left Division I.
Out of the batter's box right here, and that's the problem. If you're a lefty and a slap hitter and you get that movement started and you're fooled by the pitch, you can't hold your body up. You've already started that momentum, and that's one of the reasons why I said I like it if you're a pitcher, if I can get you leaning, pulling back, or even as a slap, getting started earlier and then fooling you with the pitch. You try to hold all of that up, right? I got to hold my hands. I got to hold my hips. My legs are already moving. And it's just not that easy.
To short left field. Fernandez is there. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Katie Rearley. 6 up and 6 down in the first inning in the Southern Conference Softball Championship in Chattanooga. Scoreless game as we go to inning number 2, our second elimination game of this opening day. Postponed 24 hours because of the weather. ETSU and Mercer looking to punch their ticket to later today to face Western Carolina. But whoever wins will see tomorrow regardless. These are the 2 single elimination games, the bottom 4 seeds in the tournament, and then into the traditional double elimination. But that format has been altered slightly because of the NCAA's need to have all the automatic qualifiers in by the middle of the afternoon on Sunday. We will now play a winner-take-all championship game on Sunday morning. I have not heard, Todd, anyone complaining about that yet, but I am very certain come Sunday morning, whatever team has gone undefeated will not be pleased that they don't get 2 chances to dance.
Yeah, it's it might be something that you wait to tell somebody, right?
Yeah.
Until the necessary moment comes.
Right. Now the flip side is if you're coming out of the losers bracket,
yep,
you just need to win 1 game on Sunday. So there will most certainly Sunday morning be folks that are pretty excited about the opportunity and others that think that they have earned themselves a little second chance, so to speak. So far, the pitching dominating here as Sizem will stride in. 5 up and 5 down for Eden Muncie.
And she's managed to get through Lenson and Barton pretty easily, which I think has to be a bit of a sigh of relief. Barton has been able to put the ball a lot in play this year and get on base. Now you're going to force Mercer to do something that's not easy to do all the time, which is score with 2 outs. Especially with nobody on base yet. It's one thing to score with 2 outs and somebody on, but starting from scratch. Yeah, these 2 teams yesterday were prepared to play on the alternate field. And the rain came down, and the East Tennessee State players stayed out there a little bit longer than the Mercer players. Just kind of enjoyed the rainfall. And being over there, and anybody that has a child that's played, it felt like it was 25 years ago being at the youth ballpark. It's no dugout, just cages around the benches, and no grandstand to speak of.
I mean, this facility is very much set up to have a whole bunch of games going on.
Mm-hmm. It just doesn't have the same stadium feel,
Yeah,
right?
This is the stadium.
Yeah. There's the crown jewel, and
there would have been a slight issue had they played over there, no replay available. Because
Correct.
the cameras are set up here. Mm-hmm. And what they were going to do was they were going to say no replay in either of the elimination games, because if you couldn't have it on one field, you shouldn't have it on the other. Eden Muncie, so far, so good. 6 up and 6 down. No score after an inning and a half at Frost Stadium. Scoreless into the bottom of the second inning. Boone, Lutu, and Rieger for ETSU against Katie Rearley, who got 2 pop-ups and a strikeout in the bottom of the first. Mercer won only 3 games away from Macon during the regular season. Both of these teams went 8-13 in SoCon play. Rarely tops out in the low 60s, but it's the spin that's the key. Boone fouls one off at the plate.
got a good look at Coach Kohlmeyer there for a moment. And I asked him if he changed his thought process coming into these elimination games, and he said, we won't overthink it.
Boone, who is batting here for ETSU, has not pitched this year, but weekly does throw bullpens, and in the future, that may be something we see more of. Off the end of the bat, Jones couldn't find it.
Was she worried about the bat, or did somebody call her off, I wonder? Or she lost. I will tell you this, first base here in this stadium, and that's what she's telling us with her eyes. If the sun is out, you can't see it.
And she's not wearing sunglasses.
No. Watch this right here. She just lost it in the sun. I thought maybe at first she was worried about the bat. She just couldn't find it. The other thing that you may see happen now with the sun out is throws from the third baseman. Those throws from the third baseman will end up sailing over somebody's head.
Now batting for ETSU, number 32, Lainani Lutu.
Lutu sharply to shortstop. Sizem throws across.
Keep an eye on Jones and see if she comes out in the next inning with a visor and sunglasses
Up next for the Buccaneers,
after losing
number
that one.
6, Tierra Rieger.
Thierry Rieger takes strike one. It just feels like Muncie has pitched ahead to everybody.
And once you do that as a rise ball pitcher, you can start to get people to swing out of the strike zone. So you're not really necessarily as concerned with spotting it for a strike as you are maybe getting somebody to swing at something out of the strike zone.
Rarely pitching ahead here. Muncie doing it in the top half of the inning. Two pitchers so far in control. Rarely. That one sent out to left. Fernandez not going to get it. It's off the wall, but it's going to just be a single, as that was played well by Isabel Fernandez. A long single.
That group out there left to right, Fernandez, Whalen, and Sanchez, have all, I think, played very stable and steady defense this year. Something a coach is well aware of when you get into these games. Who can I run on and who's not somebody I want to test?
Back-to-back singles for Rieger and Crawley. And Martins comes up with 2 on and 2 out.
Big opportunity here for East Tennessee State, a team that this year has given themselves opportunities but haven't been able to capitalize on them. They have lost some tight games this year. Late inning execution's been an issue from time to time. Bullpen breakdowns.
Now batting, number 44, Riley Martin.
Softly in the infield, and Barton is there to make the play and end the threat. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. After 2, no score in Chattanooga. Bottom third in the Mercer attack in the third inning. Eden Muncie has not yet allowed a base runner. Scoreless game in an elimination contest at Frost Field in Chattanooga, the only artificial surface in the Southern Conference. This is only the 12th start of the year for Ullman. Ullman, Fernandez, and Wayland against Eden Muncie. Our umpires for Game 2, Wayne Griffin behind the plate, Donald Maddox over at first, and Dwayne Shoemate at third. Macon, Georgia, about 200 miles south of Chattanooga. And Johnson City, Tennessee, about 215 miles northeast of the scenic city.
Always nice to have a batter get the inning started by being patient and working a full count.
It's going to get out of play. 190 down the lines here at Frost Stadium and 220 to straightaway center field. Saw a couple of home runs in the first game today. It was more breezy earlier than it is now.
Yeah, this is relatively calm this afternoon. I was surprised to see some of the balls have the pop they did in that first game.
Sharply to shortstop and Porter right there.
It's always nice when you don't have to do a lot of work to record the out. Boy, Muncie just seems like she's cruising. I know it's early, but this is a good start.
What is she doing so well?
Right now it looks like she's moving she's spotting it where she wants it, first of all. And I think when she misses, she's missing intentionally. You start to spot those pitches, and you start to control where the batter is mentally, and you start to control with what they're doing physically. And then you just throw stuff like that nobody can hit, right?
Yep. Eden Muncie in high school had over 1,000 strikeouts.
Kind of alluded to this in the first game. She is controlling, it feels like early, the three halves of the plate, if you want. The inner, the middle, and the outside.
They're just not getting great bat on the balls, and they're 2 gone. Not able to square anything up so far.
Now batting for Mercer, number 21, Meredith Wayland.
Mercer was in this situation last year in a play-in game, and they beat Furman 11-7, and they went on to win the championship, going 7-1 in the tournament, which was held at Wofford College in Spartanburg. Eden Muncie, 9 up and 9 down. No score as we head to the bottom of the 3rd.
Spring doesn't just bring a new season, it builds champions. From the crack of the bat to every moment under the lights, different fields, same pursuit. Greatness isn't given, it's earned. Rep by rep, play by play, second by second. And when the work meets the win, it deserves to be remembered forever. Southern recognition, setting your championship in stone.
For over 100 years, the Southern Conference has competed at the highest level, valuing college athletes on and off the field, and playing a key role in their development. The Knight Commission has recognized the SoCon as a care champion, committed to the education and well-being of our future leaders. Ideal geography, tremendous opportunity, unified values, and celebrating authenticity. In the Southern Conference, it's all here.
SoCon softball in the Scenic City made possible thanks in part to support from Coca-Cola. Made in Chattanooga by Chattadoogans since 1899. And visit Chattanooga. Make memories in Chattanooga. Someone is going to make a memory this weekend and go to the NCAA tournament. So far, the pitching has been outstanding here in game number 2. If you weren't with us for the opening game of the tournament, which was postponed 24 hours because of yesterday's rain, Chattanooga got 4 runs in the 5th and 3 runs in the 6th and eliminated Furman 10-3. Our second elimination game of the day here with the bottom of the order, Coleman Tillman leading off the 3rd. Katie Rearley in the circle, and she is ahead in the count 1-2.
You know, we were talking about what gets these pitchers or what's gotten them off to a good start. It just feels like there's a real good rhythm so far by both these starters. There is strike efficiency in the balls that they are throwing. They've had good defense behind them.
Coleman Tillman, 1 hop to 3rd. Lochran makes the play.
That's an example of the good defense. A third baseman that hasn't committed a lot of errors. She doesn't rush that throw, right? It gets bobbled, but she doesn't sail it to first. And by the way, our first baseman right now does have sunglasses on after the last inning, after losing one in the sun and escaping that blunder because the ball never made it past first base. But and that look right there is a look of surprise because that foul ball nearly caught a spectator completely by surprise who was looking up your bio on Wikipedia, I guess. And
not going to find much there.
He has moved, by the way.
Not a lot gets past the screen.
No.
To second base, Barton pitches to Jones, and they're 2 gone.
One of the things that softball players do better than most everybody else is moving in a lateral motion. There's just not a lot of time on these fields to create long bounces or to circle around behind a ball. You just have to be very comfortable moving side to side and throwing in rhythm.
Taylor, foul ball. Tough play, not in time. Bunt single is the first hit for Abigail Taylor, and a 2-out base runner here for ETSU.
And that's why I thought she could be a bit of an impact player today. She's going to put the ball in play and create stress on the defense.
Now batting, number 12, Peyton Moore.
And I'm almost always okay in this situation now if they thought they might want to try to steal second base.
Taylor's got 21 steals this year. Third in the league, 21 of 26 stealing. Nearly has half of ETSU's stolen bases on the season.
Not chasing on that pitch. Sometimes when these pitchers, we talked about getting off to a good start, you start to chase some things. And just backing off a little bit here. And let's face it, you know, the stakes in this game are, they're at the highest, all right? It's one of those games where I don't expect to see a lot of players go down looking.
Are you surprised that Taylor hasn't tried to steal so far?
Maybe a little bit, but I do like the idea of trying to get to Boone with 2 on. I know sometimes you don't feel like you want to chase runs early in these games, but I don't necessarily think that's what you're doing if you try to take second here. It might feel that way. The advantage is now, though, is you've got a batter with 2 outs that's worked it to a full count, so. So you get a chance to move as soon as you can without repercussions.
Rearly's pitch is popped up foul off the first base side. Grace Jones has room with the sunglasses and makes the play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. And after 3, no score in our second elimination game. Mercer looking for their first base runner of the SoCon tournament, but they're in a perfectly fine spot, scoreless, as we begin the fourth inning. Top of the order was Sanchez leading things off against Eden Muncie, who has been a tough customer thus far.
You know, if Muncie continues this pace, it might be wise for the Mercer batters to think about swinging at the first best pitch you see, right? Because it might be the best pitch you get the entire plate appearance. Because when she has gotten ahead in the count, she has proven that so far that she's had the ability to make you guess where it might be after that. Good hitters count here at 3-1. This is when, as a batter, you talk about just looking for something you can drive.
Pops it up. At shortstop, Porter is there. Ten up and 10 down, and only 2 hitters have gotten the ball out of the infield. And they're the next 2 hitters. Loughran and Jones both flew out to right. Everyone else has either popped up, grounded out, or struck out.
Yeah, if Mercer had any idea about having a aggressive short game today, we haven't had a chance to see it yet come into play. And the way East Tennessee State has played so far this year, this doesn't surprise me too much. I said earlier, they just, one of the things that has put them in this single elimination round is not able to close out some close ones.
Last year, Mercer was led by Coach Lindsey Fico, and they went to the NCAA tournament as a 5 seed out of the SoCon. They went 7-1 in the tournament.
Yeah, and she took 3 players with her when she moved on.
She moved to Florida Gulf Coast. They won their ASUN tournament opener Tuesday against Austin P 2-1, but were eliminated yesterday with losses against Jacksonville and North Alabama. Eden Muncie just cruising along here in Chattanooga. A 4th straight 1-2-3 inning. Can the Buccaneers get her some offense in the last of the 4th? those are the two teams who will play next. Chattanooga on the left of the screen and Wofford kind of in the center, and they will play double elimination softball coming up about a half hour after this game concludes. But this game continues to be even with not a whole lot of offense going, but Whitney Boone can change that in a hurry here for ETSU.
Now Boone has something to do here that nobody else has had an opportunity to do so far in this game, and that is be a leadoff hitter that gets on, right? A lot of it starts there.
Boone, 4 home runs and 30 knocked in this year, a .310 average. 0 for 1 today. Comes into the tournament going pretty good. Just takes outside. Cheryl Milligan, the coach of ETSU, picked up her 600th career victory earlier this year. It happened towards the end of March in a 21-2 win over Furman, the second largest margin of victory in school history. She had a heck of a run, did Cheryl Milligan at Tufts. 490 wins, 148 losses, and won the D3 NCAA tournament 3 different times. In 2015, they went 51-0.
Oh, did she, is that a pitch clock violation? Yeah, I think so. And I think she's a little upset, maybe because she didn't get the pitch in time. Let's watch right here. See the clock? This thing is clearly, I thought maybe, oh, did she balk on it?
Now batting, number 32, Leilani Lucas.
Whatever the case may be, we'll wait for the official score. It's a runner at first base. We'll get confirmation on that. I've seen that pitch clock go a little bit longer than that, meaning in the negatives without it being called, but you never know.
It officially goes as a walk, so that fourth ball is a pitch clock violation. You can see the clock in motion. Boone, the leadoff hitter, on, and Lutu standing in. There was no pitch clock when Cheryl Milligan was at Tufts.
That's correct. Yeah.
She's a Tufts grad as well. Played 4 years at shortstop and did not take off a single inning in those 4 years. Played shortstop, hit .377.
I always felt like, in talking with coaches and pitchers, the thing that came up over and over and over again is getting from the dugout to the pitcher on their wristband. We'll finish this up here in a moment.
Off the glove of Jones, deflected off the runner Boone, and they're going to be runners at first and second. If it had hit the runner before the carom off the glove, the runner would be out. Instead, it's an infield hit. If the ball doesn't hit the runner, I think it's into the outfield and we have first and third.
So just to finish that thought up, one of the things that you want to do is try to make sure that you keep your pitcher in rhythm, because once that appears, and I felt like we've had that so far, then the confidence shows up and then command usually follows.
Are you surprised that Rieger was not around to bunt?
A little bit. Yeah, because I'm not sure there's going to be a lot of runs to be had in this game.
How did you learn that from watching the first 3 innings? She is around to bunt. She lays down a good one, and the runners advance to second and third.
Just got the feeling that these pitchers have pretty good control of the strike zone right now.
So if you're Mercer defensively, are you going to bring the infield in here?
Yeah, that's a great question. Again, we're talking about chasing runs, right, and preventing runs, and
they're going to bring them in.
They're going to bring them in.
Second and third and 1 out in a scoreless game, bottom 4.
And keep in mind, just because you bring them in doesn't necessarily mean you're going to go home. It has to be your best opportunity, right?
They're going to talk about it.
So what in my mind is always the conversation, or part of the conversation is, especially if I'm out there now, is this is where we're going. Remember, we may have to come back home with the ball even if we go to first. Anything on the left side of the field and it's cleanly handled, check and hold your runners, throw to first, and be prepared for a ball back to home plate. Anything on the right side, if it's cleanly handled, check your runners, make the throw, and the odds that anybody's going to try to get home on that are low. And on the base paths, here's what you need to remind your runners: contact doesn't necessarily mean we're going. This is why you see teams sometimes run themselves out of a big inning, but it's not because they want to. It can get very complicated. It'd be so much easier right now. There were 2 out.
Sharply to shortstop, but got under the glove of Sizem, and it's 1-0 ETSU.
And the key was if it's handled cleanly, right?
With the infield pinched in, just not a lot of time to react, lunging to her left. She was able to keep it in the infield, but unable to play it cleanly. The runner from third, Boone, scores. The runner from second, Lutu, goes to third, and Crowley reaches at first. And here's a squeeze that's going to score a run.
Well done. Executed, called and executed.
Just not a lot of chances here other than the first. That was your only play.
So the 2 runners that have scored in this inning, one reached on a pitch clock violation walk, and the other on an infield single.
Yep. Coleman Tillman at the bottom of the order. Up the middle, diving stop. Sizem throws not in time. And the inning continues for ETSU. And the lineup cycles back to the top. Pretty good play defensively to keep that ball in the infield, and that dive by Sizem almost surely saved a run. Porter bats with first and third.
See if they give up second base.
They will.
First and third strategy in the game of softball is like none other. Well, everybody knows now that this is a big inning, right? And are they willing to make it's so big that they want to make a change?
We'll have a Penske move to the bullpen here as Mercer is going to make a change in the 4th inning, trailing 2-0.
Boy, it felt like that Mercer starter was in control, right? Until you're not. It's like you're driving along in a car and all of a sudden you hit a patch of ice.
Your attention, please.
Chloe Pless
Number 23, Chloe West.
out of the bullpen for Mercer. A Penske move to the bullpen. If you need to move, call Penske. Truck rentals for life's big moves. Hardest thrower on the staff. Pless can blast it up there, 66, 67, 68, kind of inconsistent. Down ball curve and a screw, and they're really just looking for her to get one out here and get this thing to the 5th inning.
I've had people ask me before, that doesn't seem very fast. And I said, well, factor in the dimensions here. And we are talking anything that near 70 is in the 90s.
Yes.
In Major League Baseball, in college baseball.
Anyone that doesn't think it's that fast, we might invite them to stand in against it.
Trust me, the field dimensions matter.
Freshman from Alma, Georgia, Bacon County High School. Popped up at first base. Jones drifting into foul territory, and Pless does the job and gets Mercer out of the 4th, but not before ETSU sends 7 to the plate and scores twice, and the Buccaneers have a 2-0 lead.
You hear it all the time.
Actually, I changed my mind.
Change is this anthem passed down from every generation, so it feels like everyone has a claim to it. But how can you make it yours? At Mercer, change starts with you. Turning daydreams into achievements and researchers into champions of progress. Whether you're helping around the corner or halfway across the planet, whether it's your first day out in the field or the first day of a new chapter, change is yours to make.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
Mercer Bears trail 2-0 in an elimination game as we begin the 5th inning. Eden Muncie 12 up and 12 down in the circle for ETSU. What is Muncie doing so well, Todd?
Rhythm and control, and two very important factors right now.
To right field, Coleman Tillman.
This is when batters can get a little anxious too. I mean, this
Now batting, number 24, Avery.
this game is moving fast, right?
Barton popped out her first time. Muncie starts her off speed, but out of the zone.
I'm seeing Muncie with first pitch strikes. She hasn't had a lot of deep counts so far.
7 straight batters have popped out.
Yeah, and they've been a little late on her velocity too. And so they have not adjusted to her ability to spot her pitches right now. That said, you're going through this lineup the second time around. Let's see how these Mercer batters make any adjustments.
Muncie pitched 1 inning against Mercer over the weekend. It was a scoreless inning. Gave up 2 1/3 of an inning on May 3rd against Chattanooga. Gave up a couple against Greensboro on the 19th. This is her longest scoreless effort in quite some time.
I'm sure for Mercer right now, you're just trying to remind your batter, stay calm. This game is still within reach, obviously.
It's just amazing the year Muncie had last year and to turn it around and have this year. Last year she was 2-9 with an ERA of 6.83 and opponents hit 346 against her. This year 4-6 with a 2.65 ERA and opponents batting 221.
Yeah, imagine if she...
It's night and day.
Yeah, if she had had some offensive help here.
Yeah, no kidding.
A rare miss by her. Martin had been so far out in front of everything. Just a very uncomfortable plate appearance, but she worked it long enough.
So Sizem comes up with the tying run at the plate. No home runs for Sizem this year.
Again, up and down in that strike zone. Just above the belt, just below the belt. You keep pitching like this and you will turn a confident batter into a guess hitter. Everybody's getting on the same page. I made the mistake of asking a coach recently if he ever thought about letting his catcher call the pitches, and a nice 20-minute lecture later, I felt like the answer was probably no.
Yeah. One of those that could have been answered with one word.
Could have been an email.
Yeah.
There are coaches that put a premium on the relationship between the two, but you think about the intensive research that goes into all the situational play, and that's the biggest reason behind
You know, this is the first time I've ever been aware of it, but the Miami Marlins do not allow their catchers to call the pitches.
And I'm going to say, unfortunately, because I like it when they do. They're showing a lot of success with it, and other teams are taking notice it and passing it down to their minor leagues to test it first.
6-3. Ball dropped at first base, so it's a fielder's choice. They record the second out of the inning down at second base, but Sizem reaches. And you can't score an error on that, even if the ball should have been squeezed.
That was a ball. It looked like it got a little up on the shortstop on the release. It happened so fast. And, you know, the one thing that a double play combination relies on, along with the first baseman, is just this accuracy of where the ball is going to be. Because there is little time to react to something that's off target. That we talked about the relationship of catcher and pitcher. It's similar to what happens at shortstop and second baseman. And they will get really good at communicating how they're going to relay on double play balls. Is it going to be a speed shuttle? And sometimes you even they'll communicate it. They're going to say it's coming fast or quick.
2-1 pitch misses, snap throw to first. So it's 3-1 with 2 outs, a runner at first base, and Mercer at the plate trailing the game 2-0.
Now, right now, both these coaches, especially on Mercer's side, it may take 4 to 6 batters in an offensive inning to win the game. You start communicating with all your bench players. If you haven't been in the game, you need to get in the game. You need to think through the scenarios and the situations, start communicating with each other. Because here's what's at stake, right?
There's our Visit Chattanooga SoCon bracket. Visit Chattanooga. Make memories in Chattanooga. And the Mocs are on to the double elimination piece of the bracket, and one of these two teams will punch their ticket as well.
Well, and that's a prime example of how things can all of a sudden be different. Chattanooga, who has not played a lot of long ball this year, got a couple of homers and had 2 explosive innings, all coming late, spoiling what I thought was just a really good outing by the starter for Furman. It was a shame to watch Embler work the way she did and then to hit that rough spot against Chattanooga. It looks like we're going to have a pinch runner at first base as well. We didn't have any pinch runners in the first game, and now we've got a lot of moving pieces here.
Pless running at first.
Running at first base, number 23, Chloe Pless. And at the plate for the Bears, number 5, Isabel Fernandez.
And with 2 out in the game, this pinch runner is all about speed.
No question.
Right, it's not
on anything to an alleyway. You want to score.
Yeah, I mean, it's sometimes you want a runner that's just got very good knowledge on the base paths and won't have a lot of mistakes. In this case, you just want somebody that can run forever.
Sizem at second and Pless at first. Fernandez at the dish. A base hit could get Mercer on the board. Eden Muncie looking to keep Mercer up 2-0. First couple base runners of the game for Mercer, both via walk.
Well, the one missing piece right now for Mercer is timely hitting. Any hitting.
This would be a heck of a time for the hitting to arrive. Fernandez at the plate is the fastest player on the team. Could be helpful on this artificial surface.
Muncie was ready to walk off. Thought she had it.
Has to throw another one. Eden Muncie delivers. Yeah, that'll get her off of the... Muncie walks two, but strands them on base. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 left. After 4.5, it's 2-0 ETSU.
Leading off for East Tennessee State, number 22.
2, 3, and 4 for ETSU in the 5th inning. Taylor, Moore, and Boone with the Buccaneers up 2-0 and facing Chloe Pless, who came out of the bullpen and recorded an out to get out of the 4th.
And again, that outfield is in name only, right?
Yeah, there are a lot of defenders within I don't know how many feet of home plate.
When you have lunch and dinner, you have dinner. When you have this, we'll come up with something here in a moment for the outfield that is so close. This is what I would expect to see in the 10th or 11th inning of a game with the international runner at second.
I thought because Pless is such a hard thrower, she may have come in just to try to get out of the 4th. But Coach Kohlmeyer liked what he saw and allows her to start the 5th.
Well, I know, we talked about preparing for these games in advance and what you're telling your players. And I know that Coach Kohlmeyer told his starter, he told his first and second relief, be ready. These are the situations. You need to be thinking through every batter in the lineup, how to approach them.
That's going to drop. Hitting the bag at second, Taylor on her way to third, and it's first and third, nobody out.
Back to that first and third strategy now. So many things at play here. Do you want to bunt? Do you want to squeeze, hit and run? Delayed steal?
Infield comes in. Boone takes ball 1. All right, take it back. Strike 1.
I would say in the very high percentile, although I don't know if it's going to happen here on first and third. It's almost guaranteed it's going to be second and third.
Moore is the runner at first. Taylor is over at third. Chopped over the middle and into center field. On the score is Taylor. Moore to second. Ribby single for Boone.
Boy, for a second here, it almost looks like there's just a little miscommunication here between the second and the shortstop. Are they worried about colliding? And does Barton pull off on the ball? Or not worried about the collision, but necessarily who's going to make the play?
The winner of this game advances to play in the double elimination piece of the bracket later today against Western Carolina. Taylor led off with a walk, Moore and Boone with singles. Lutu singled and scored last time up, around to bunt, and that will move the runners.
Well, that was had to wait for coverage of the bag. Almost gave up the bunt single. Let's see if there's late coverage here. Little hitch, yeah. And maybe possibly getting a better grip on the ball. Maybe Barton is there in plenty of time.
Rieger has singled and sacrificed. Infield comes in. She takes low and in. Pless came in a big spot last inning, and she's facing a big spot right here.
We changed the batter here, maybe? I don't think so. Let's see.
That's Rieger.
Yeah. Going to change runners. Going to have a long conversation. Going to change the runner at third. Yeah.
Probably in case there's a fly ball, you want to make sure you have someone that's going to score.
Yep.
Sarah Fonseca will run at third. She started back towards third, but is going to score here. Fonseca got a very tough read on that, but it doesn't matter on the RBI single by Rieger.
It hasn't changed in a long time. Get runners on, move them around, right? Steal bases, base hits. I got a suspicion they might try to take second base at some point here.
Crowley, a part of the SoCon all-freshman team, at the plate. Boone at third, Rieger at first. This was a scoreless game after 3 innings. This is to short. Sizem goes to first, holds the runners, and gets the out.
Well done. Well done defensively.
2 in the 4th, 2 more here in the 5th for ETSU. 58th all-time meeting between these teams. Mercer, a 33-24 edge. That's up the middle. It's going to score at least 1, perhaps 2. Yes, 2. And it's 6-0. 2 RBI single by Martins.
If there's only 1 out, you probably don't get both runs, but these runners are both taking off early. No hesitation. And as I had said earlier, East Tennessee State had struggled in the close games, and right now, this one, it may be in a position where it's, or in a spot where it's not going to be a close game. And then they're going to let the Martins advance on interference. And that's still going to be discussed. As you can see, the explanation.
Up next for the Buccaneers, number 14, Leilani Coleman-Tillman.
A little surprised Martins pulled up a little bit. Looked like she could have just run her through if she wanted.
If it wasn't for the fact that Eden Muncie had not allowed a hit, we'd be having the same conversation we did last game about Taylor Long, about do you think about taking her out, understanding that the tournament is not a single game and you've got another game to play today and at least one tomorrow. I don't know that the pitching situation with ETSU is the same as Chattanooga.
I think it is. I mean, I think both of them would be hesitant to go to their bullpen.
Safe at the plate on the RBI single by Coleman-Tillman. Martins just barely getting in.
And I'm surprised that she let her go with 2 outs. Let's take a look. And they may look at it themselves, because at this point, now that tag is up around again. It's up around the waist, and
her foot's in.
Yeah, when I see that, it makes me think, you're in.
Unless her foot was above home plate and not touching home plate, that the runner beat the throw. But you got to look at it.
Yeah.
Have a hard time believing they're going to change the call.
I do too. Nice piece of running. And our first game took a while to unfold, as has this game. When I saw this East Tennessee State team outside yesterday playing in the rain, I thought, are they too loose?
Huh.
And maybe they're not. They do have their bullpen up and working. The only thing working against Muncie right now is this delay.
Well, let me ask you this. Is Cheryl Milligan thinking maybe I can get this thing over early?
I think so, yeah.
And that's a way to save your arms.
Mm-hmm. We're at the fourth, and now here in the fifth inning have just not been kind to Mercer.
To right, it'll hang up for Sanchez. Well, ETSU sends 9 to the plate in the fifth inning. They score 2 in the fourth and 5 in the fifth. And we go to the sixth. It's 7-0 Bucks. SoCon softball in the Scenic City made possible thanks in part to support from Coca-Cola. Made in Chattanooga by Chattanoogans since 1899. And visit Chattanooga. Make memories in Chattanooga. How many times can you say Chattanooga in 3 sentences? The Mocs have already advanced into the double elimination portion of the bracket, and now their in-state rivals ETSU seem poised to do similarly. But we've got drama in the circle as Eden Muncie has not allowed a hit through 5 innings.
Yeah. Well, speaking of how many times can you say Chattanooga, how many times can you say 0, right? 0 hits,
yep.
No runners, with the exception of the walks, 0 lead-off success so far today.
She was perfect through 4 innings, 12 up and 12 down. Gave up 2 walks in the 5th. And now here in the 6th, Wayland leading it off.
And in the meantime, on the other side of the ledger, East Tennessee State is hitting almost 650 with runners on. The biggest obstacle for Muncie might be, as I was alluding to, just the long layoff in between the big offensive inning and getting back out there. You asked about Muncie's success. She just hasn't had to deal with any pressure other than the 2 walks.
You know, you think of big moments, a no-hitter, a perfect game, whatever it is, and you always see the final out recorded with that pitcher doing it on the mound or in the circle. If you were to run roll someone, the game could end with that person on the bench.
Watching Coach Kohlmeyer down at third base, he's just
animated.
Yeah, he's just itching for an opportunity to create some situational success here. And that is a very helpless feeling when you just can't get anybody on base.
Sanchez has struck out and popped out. To center field, right there is Taylor.
Taylor picks this ball up early. Doesn't have to step back and round it out. No need to come in.
Now batting, number 3, Megan Florin.
Well, we're getting to that point where I said, look, if your top of the order can get 4 or 5 plate appearances, you're in really good shape. And it may end with the top half of this order just getting the 3 plate appearances.
Muncie's best appearance of the year came March 14th against Dartmouth. 4 scoreless 2-hit innings. And she's had a really good season, but not quite like this. Gave up 1 run on 6 hits against Chattanooga on the 11th of April.
Well, when you're trailing like this and you've been frustrated, you start to swing at a lot of pitches that maybe you normally wouldn't go after. That one looked like it was a little up in the strike zone, if not a lot. And Muncie thought, let's try it again. Let's see if she'll go after it, and she didn't. Logren holds her bat there. Nice job. I can tell you right now, Muncie doesn't need any more help than what she's already gotten behind her.
At third base, Crawley. A 1-2-3 inning for Eden Muncie. We go to the last of the 6th, and it's all Buccaneers.
For over 60 years, Holston Gases has been your trusted local partner, fueling industries, powering businesses, and serving communities with safe, reliable gas solutions. From propane and welding supplies to dry ice and medical gases, we deliver the products you need with the top-tier customer service you deserve. Family-owned and locally managed since 1958, Holston Gases is your hometown gas partner. Holston Gases, trusted, reliable, local.
Remember how summer felt? Pure, unfiltered joy. Days filled with sun-soaked adventures. And the kind of fun you never wanted to end. That feeling, it's waiting for you in Chattanooga. From breathtaking mountain views to secret waterfalls and hidden wonders, adventure here feels like a childhood discovery. Savor the flavors of summer and make new friends. Give yourself permission to be carefree again. This is Chat Summer.
Penske moved to the bullpen. If you need to move, call Penske. Truck rentals for life's big moves. Grace McKillop on to pitch for Mercer to face ETSU here in the bottom of the 6th inning with the Buccaneers leading 7-0. McKillop was an America East all-rookie team member in 2014, or 2024, I should say, at Bryant, and started 10 times for Bryant a year ago as well. McKillop in last year's America East tournament eliminated UMBC with perhaps her best career start. And at the time, UMBC's head coach was now Mercer head coach Chris Kohlmeyer. Great spin on the rise ball. She's got a drop curve as well. Throws about 61, 63, something along those lines.
Now, look, there's still a lot of ball to play in this entire tournament, but one thing is becoming very evident, and it's this, is that in this era of the transfer portal, very few of these teams at this level have 1 and 2As, right? And that starts to chip away at your bullpen as well. And so I think pitching is really, in this tournament more than any other previously, is different this year in that way. You talked about what would East Tennessee State think about doing. They've got 2 right-handers in their bullpen right now, anticipating the opportunity maybe to close one out.
Coach Kohlmeyer said of McKillop, the ball is going to be in the zone, so it better move around.
It's a tough way to live, isn't it? Right, look at the runs scored by Mercer today. And if there was a question about whether or not they could manufacture runs today, I would say the answer is yes. I mean, basically just a series of singles in that 5th inning for them.
ETSU got 2 in the 4th, 5 in the 5th. And they do not have an extra base hit. Going to get a runner at first. Grace Vaughn going to run at first.
Well, Moore gets on, and right. And for the second time,
runner.
Somebody comes on for her.
How big an advantage or a disadvantage is it to play a game and then come back playing a team that has not yet played? That's going to fall for a base hit, and we've got first and second with 1 out. So Chattanooga is going to turn around and play Wofford. You would think that's an advantage for Wofford. They didn't have to play that knockout game, but Chattanooga kind of got the butterflies out a little bit, but they used their top starter. Same thing for the nightcap today. Likely to see this ETSU team kind of comfortable, played well, feeling good about things, got the butterflies out, playing a Western team that's been sitting around for 2 days.
I think one of the challenges in a split doubleheader is first of all, go back and readdress the pitching, so recovery is a concern. And then sitting around and waiting for that next game can sometimes be a challenge.
6-3 fielder's choice moves the runners to second and third with 2 outs.
Coaches will tell you, and I agree with this, you know, players are about habits, right? And all of what Chattanooga is going to have to do today, starting early, having a split doubleheader, these aren't habits, right? And maybe you're eating at a different time and you're doing different things. If anything, it might be a wash. You know, Mercer was, East Tennessee State actually was telling me the other day they were up at 5:30, right? They're in the training room. Nobody gets training at 5:30 typically.
To right, and Sanchez makes the play. So ETSU fails to score in the 6th, and we'll see if Eden Muncie or someone else can close out the Bears after this. Jones, Lenzen, and Barton, 3, 4, and 5, scheduled to bat for Mercer in the 7th against Eden Muncie, who has given up just 2 walks in 6 innings.
Well, I think she has only missed today on a few of times with her pitching.
Popped up deep shortstop. Porter going to let Boone make the play, and she does. 1 gone.
And she's got a lot of those, right? I mean, she has.
There have not been many hard hit balls. In fact, I'm not sure there have been any hard hit balls. That's hit pretty well out to right. Coleman, Tillman, they're shy of the warning track, and they're 2 away.
Now batting, number 24, Avery Martin.
6 2/3 innings of scoreless, hitless ball. 2 walks, 3 strikeouts for Eden Muncie. And this one is popped up. Is there room? Martins and Lutu cannot get there. .54 sophomore Eden Muncie from Duffield, Virginia. A day to remember here in Chattanooga. Looking to keep ETSU's season alive. Barden stands in her way. She's popped up and walked. Behind in the count, 0-2.
I think Muncie's having a hard time right now containing a smile.
Muncie looking to complete the deal.
I feel like, again, I said this earlier, when she's missed today, most of the time it's been an intentional miss. Just wanting to see if she could get any help from anybody.
Sometimes these tournaments come down to what pitcher can you ride.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Muncie gets a pop-up, deep shortstop. Porter puts it away. It's a no-hitter for Eden Muncie, and ETSU advances.
That's not easy work to shut out this Mercer team. And of course, the biggest number is the no hits. The other big numbers are 14 of 20 today batting, advancing the runners, a high average with runners on base. So East Tennessee State, you know, look, you score runs, you field the ball, and you pitch well, you're going to win games.
The updated Visit Chattanooga bracket. ETSU and Chattanooga have both advanced into the double elimination portion. Chattanooga and Wofford coming up in about 45 minutes. ETSU and Western Carolina after that. Not exactly tight games, but pretty good games, Todd.
Well, I thought they were very competitive in both games until about the fifth inning, right? When the wheels came off for one and the wheels got rolling for the other, and it's the big inning. If you wanted to see the big inning today, we saw a few of them today, and both these teams that have advanced managed to ride those on and protect them, which isn't always easily done.
So Chattanooga advances in game one, but they're bettered by Eden Muncie's masterpiece in game number two. And the ETSU Buccaneers will advance to the game later this afternoon and into the game bracket tomorrow as well. For Todd Agnew, our entire ESPN Plus crew, I'm Dave Freakman. Two more to come this afternoon in the Scenic City.